Hi everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Te Atiawa First Nations people and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Thank you so much for joining me. Absolute pleasure to have you along. For those that are new, and I seem to have a few newies recently, thank you, much appreciate. Is entertainment only, this channel, but I'm also in New Zealand. I'm an Australian. I'm in New Zealand at the moment. My mum is undergoing chemotherapy treatment, so currently sitting on the floor at the coffee table in an Airbnb that we have rented for the duration. Missing my fur babies back in Australia desperately, as well as the family, missing the family as well. But yeah, just that's what the situation is. Speaking of the situation, a little bit of an update. My mother had just finished her second cycle of chemotherapy. The last 2 days were, according to the first cycle, which was an absolute shocker down period, was supposed to be her down couple of days. So we weren't too worried that she was feeling a bit lightheaded and washed out, etc. Went in yesterday to have her normal blood tests done. They check the blood a couple of times a week, no cost if you're not on universal healthcare, just to see how hemoglobin, platelets and neutrophils are going and just all the liver enzymes and all the other fun stuff. And when they check the temperature, which we check regularly at home, and it was fine at home, but by the time she got in there, it was up ever so slightly. So they just did the standard up the, nostril, back of the eyeball COVID test, and you wouldn't believe it. She has COVID. So we were immediately rushed into isolation, and she's up on the isolation ward in hospital, has her own room with her own bathroom. We'll be there for about 5 days. Again, universal healthcare, love it, no cost. I have tested myself. I am negative. Well, as of this morning, I was negative. We'll see what tomorrow brings. The allergies are still going from the pines out there that are sporing. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. If I test positive tomorrow, I can go and get antivirals from the chemist, from the pharmacy, just over the counter. And the doctor reassures me that when mum comes home, she won't recatch it from me if I'm still infectious. So that's good news. Okay, so that's where we're at the moment. It is just me at the moment, but me not going anywhere just in case. So today is Friday. I usually don't read over the weekend, so I may not be back for a couple of days, and then we'll be straight up, sort of right up the backside of the election, or the front side, whatever way you want to put it, heading into the election, unless something major happens over the weekend. And speaking of something major happen, was that Trump staggering as he tried to clamber into the garbage truck? Yeah, okay, dragging a leg there. That was rather interesting. Although I must admit, as George Takei says it, who's Sulu from Star Trek, loves Star Trek, it's not actually, even though the truck had Trump written on the side of it, it's not really a Trump garbage truck unless it's on fire. I thought that was quite amusing. Yeah, and my personal opinion is he got in the wrong end. He should have been getting in the back of the garbage truck. Yeah, he plans absolutely intending on to try and steal the election. We don't need any reminder of that. But what I want to have a look at is, what do we do? Might go to SC0TUS. So SC0TUS has ruled, despite the federal judge and the Fourth Circuit both ruling that Virginia could not purge any registered voters due as it would violate the 90-day quiet period, so therefore no purging is supposed to happen 90 days before an election. SC0TUS has come on board and said, yes, Virginia can, if they identify people, non-citizens who are registered to vote. Now, we all know that these particular states have a very good history of actually identifying non-residents of the US, non-citizens. They like to just go purge, oh, whoops. So I just want to see how that's going to play out. This is the same SCOTUS, however, though, that rejected RFK's request to be removed from certain ballots, arguing that he was also sued to stay on some ballots. So he was very much playing the who does it favour game. So the SCOTUS is sort of a bit this way and a bit that way. I want to have a quick look. So, if you are in any state, not all states can do this, but give it a go. If you are in any state, and let people know in the line, or if you see anybody that's getting turned away, that you can ask for what's called a provisional ballot. And it means you can then cast your vote, and then you have, I believe, 5 days to actually re-register or register for the first time. So please, 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 provisional ballot. Make sure everybody who wants to vote can vote, even if they need to use that method. But okay, I'm just going to have a quickish look first up to see, will Virginia overstep? This is Governor Glenn Youngkin, who is a bit of a piece of work. But let's have a look. Well, not even a bit of, who is a piece of work, entertainment only. Is the Virginian Republican government going to overstep with purging of registered voters? Is Virginia going to overstep, go too far? Show me, and then we'll have a look at SCOTUS itself. Is Virginia going to overstep? There. Okay. Come on down. Let's have a look. Sorry, nearly 7 minutes of waffling. Goodness me. 4 of Swords. Well, I'm going to say yes. That they're going to put to rest more than this is just forced to retreat. So, where am I going with this? Yeah, they are. 7 of Swords. Second signifier, the 7 of Swords, if you need any clarifier. 2 lots of swords here. This is about legalities. This is about truth. And this is, very much trying to make off. Make off with, they're going to suppress and they're going to make off with registered voters. At the foundation, 2 of Wands. It is very much about the vote, the choice that is available. Let's see where we go in the past. Ending of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle. This will be the SCOTUS ruling. Crowning this reading, emotionally overwhelming and a cleansing. And I'm getting very much it's about the cleansing. So, there'll be some people that are really emotionally distraught. They'll rock up to vote and find that they can't. If you can vote early, please, please, please do so. And it's all about stealing the election. Absolutely, as if there was any doubt. Externally, we've got the Fool. Really getting that they're just being foolish here. Internally, loss, disappointment, heartbreak. I'm asking about the Republican government in Virginia. Will they overstep? To me, it's just yes, yes, yes. There will be those that will get to the front of the line thinking that they're registered and find out that they're not. If you see anybody that is turned away, tell them that they can ask for a provisional vote and cast their vote, because they're trying to spill these cups, cause grief and anguish, cause confusion, the hopes and fears, the 6 of Cups, naivety, I'm just going to say confusion again. It is the past, but again, emotionally causing confusion. The outcome, women are going to come forth and bring it with them. They're going to have to defend their decisions, but there is a Ace of Swords here, a sword of truth, and a collective awakening and a judgment moment about the manipulations and the hidden agenda. there's nowhere they can hide. Contracts and agreements that were made in this era of fading misogyny. They're going to the government there is going to reap what it sows. It may find that it's unable to harvest like it wanted to. Disappointment in the outcome or what's on offer. Corruption in regards to the vote. And we've got here families working together and standing strong. Okay, so short answer is yes, they are going to overstep. Of course they are. I mean, what a stupid question. You don't even need to be a tarot reader to know they will. So all I can do is, it's not going to bode well for them as a government going forward. All I can suggest is, if you are anywhere, and as I'm shuffling, this guy's showing himself, let people know that they can have a provisional vote. Volatile information is going to get out there that's going to basically stop their actions, but also force people to see them in a different light. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, but next question, SC0TUS. Yeah, different light by the voter. This may actually backfire on the Virginia. Are any in Virginia up for re-election? I'm talking about at a state level. I don't know if Youngkin is or not. But any of that level of government, because I've got a feeling this is going to backfire on them, just this action. Okay, now I'm going to ask, okay, very quickly, well, I'll stop shuffling for a minute. Yes, I did read afterwards, the following day, the clarification of what Biden actually said about what the so-called comedian who was not funny at the Madison Square Garden said. Biden was calling what that person said as being garbage. However, that's not how the media reported it. And I do understand that a clarification was put out and the actual transcript was put out. But very annoyingly, the media had already had their day on it. And yeah, the media had their day on it. And the way the media presented it out there to the public was very bombastically evil. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. Trying to cause dissension, trying to cause confusion and conflict for the voters. And it was just straight out disinformation, evil. Okay, but let's have a look at the SC0TUS. Will this, in regards to the election. Now, remembering that in 2000, Jeb Bush, who was the governor of Florida, took to the SC0TUS because, we were talking about thousands of votes, not tens of thousands of votes. It came down the election between Gore and Bush in the year 2000. Oh, what a different world we'd be in if Gore had been awarded, which he should have been. It appeared that Gore had won. However, Jeb Bush, the governor of Florida, took the result of Florida to the Supreme Court, which was a highly Republican Supreme Court as well at that time, about hanging chads on the voting paper. So I believe what happened is you sort of had your paper there and you pressed a button and it poked a hole in the paper for who you voted for. And on some of them, the actual hole that was poked out didn't fully disconnect, so it was called a hanging chad. What happened is those hanging chads, the SC0TUS ruled, were disallowed as legitimate voting ballots. So therefore, Florida went to Bush, which meant Bush won the presidency. Not quite sure why Bush didn't seem to have any hanging chads that got discounted, but it all seemed to be on Gore. So that was a really, really close election and came down to thousands, not tens of thousands of votes. I get the feeling that this election is going to be in the hundreds of thousands, so that it's not like SCOTUS can actually go, oh, well, maybe, and it possibly may even be towards the million in favour of the Harris-Walsh. So it's not feeling like it's going to be close enough for the SCOTUS to actually make a discretionary decision on, but let's have a look. Will the Republicans try and take the election result to the Supreme Court of the United States? Will the Republicans, they've got more than one tactic up their sleeve, will the Republicans try and take the election result to the Supreme Court? Pardon me. Yeah, I've actually woken up with this dry cough, so I'm surprised I tested negative, but let's have a look. Will the Republican Party try and will anybody try and take the election result to the Supreme Court? Because we know which side's going to try that. Okay, come on down, let's have a look. Yeah. And trying to sow division and confusion, infighting on the bottom as well. Okay, the signifier is a choice that needs to be made about what message people are going to follow. There's strength and light, or there's darkness in the thicket. Okay, so I'm going to say that that's the election itself. Challenge is going to be the attempt to steal the election. Yep. And they have many options. Now, if you're a Trump supporter, this is not a channel for you. I'm talking about the GOP or those behind the GOP, the Federalist Society, the Heritage Society, the Mums for Liberty, whatever you like to call them. Yeah, they have multiple court cases that they're going to try and steal the election is the challenge. Yeah, very much sowing doubt, smoke and mirrors, trying to sow confusion, cloud the issue, etc. There will be one obvious choice, and that will be Harris. But that won't stop them from trying to sow their doubt. That's very much why the polls at the moment, if you want to wonder why the polls are so close, or even having Trump leading, it's because the Trump camp is paying for the polls. It's like the smoking industry back in the day, 40, 50 years ago, would pay for the scientific research, in inverted commas, to say that smoking was good for your lungs. It's a bit like the sugar industry as well. Oh, no, sugar doesn't cause any issues, etc., etc. Thems that pay for it get to choose the outcome, and that's what's happening. And part of that is so that they can waive the polls after the election and say it must have been stolen because it was so close. There's no way. It's all about sowing confusion. In the past, there's a lot of anxiety here. Absolutely. We are feeling it across the world. There's a lot of anxiety that's hanging on this. However, I am heartened by the owl that is coming through in the background there, the white owl. Really heartened by it. Coming through the window. Drawn to the fact that she's wearing red. So the anxiety caused by the red hat wearers is going to be dispelled by the wisdom that comes through. Okay, but are they going to try and take it to SCOTUS? Yeah, of course they are. Okay, rounding this reading. Trying to oversimplify, wanting to go back to the 1950s, or is that the 1850s? The gift of the past also. So this might be playing on the gifts that have been given in the past to particular SCOTUS members. However, is it going to work? No, it's not. It might be how many justices are there? I keep getting, now if I go back, I'm thinking that I had a while back, I was getting a 5-3 ruling with one choosing not to. You've got 3 cups spilt here. There are 2 cups remaining under this tree, but I'm really feeling there's 3 that are going to try and hear it, but it's going to stand firm. It's all about trying to steal the election, the abuse of power, the betrayal, the deceit. But you've got the 3 liberal, progressive thinking female judges here bringing forth a powerful message. And I think they might put it on public display. There's no behind the doors discussion going on here. We've got Trump, as he sees himself, wanting to rule, not represent. The outcome, a decision, a legal decision needs to be made. We've got the sword of truth being brought here and forced to retreat. 3 justices forced to retreat. I know it's the 4 of swords, but there's 3 swords hanging over. Sitting back and contemplating. But here we've got the wheel has turned and it brings about a significant ending, and there is a judgment moment. 3 major arcana to finish there. Times have changed. It's as simple as that. Times have changed. Sorry, I'll bring that down a little bit. Times have changed. That's bringing the current cycle to an ending. Absolutely ending, because there is this judgment card, an awakening, a call to arms, we see what you are doing. So if I go on the back, we've got this infighting. We've again got the end of the misogyny partnerships. This is certain members of the SC0TUS being seen and heard and put in a very uncomfortable position. Again, 3 with the betrayal, lies coming to the surface, too heavy a burden, too heavy a decision for them to make. So you've got 3 of them falling over, but walking away emotionally. And again, it's wait, I keep getting, we've got the leadership of Harris. Harris is going to win resoundingly, and so they've got no comeback. Now, I don't know why I've been picking up, prompted my memory, I've been picking up for a long time now, that it will be a 3 to 5 vote. 3 voting in favour of Trump, bought and paid for, 5 standing firm, and that'll be the 3 progressive judges. I do feel it'll be Comey Barrett as well. Yeah, not real fond of her appointment, but she does really seem to be, aside from the fact that she overturned Roe versus Wade, she does seem to be trying to uphold the Constitution rather than inventing it. That's 4, and I'm feeling the 5th might be Kavanaugh, and you might find someone like Roberts chooses not to. Who would be the 5th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5. Yeah, 5, and then there'll be 3, and there'll be 1 that just doesn't want to play their hand. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's entertainment only. Let's see how it goes. I think the win will be so overwhelming that SC0TUS really legitimately can't make the choice, but it won't stop the 3 very corrupt judges ruling that maybe they should. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Let's see how it plays. Oh boy, buckle up. It's going to get wild, and I shall catch you shortly. Bye-bye.